Welcome to the Pizza Bros podcast. It's episode 27, the no tip. You call Freddy when you need things taken care of. And you'll see in this episode that you always take care of the people who take care of you. Capiche?
Capiche.
Moans Ed loudly. He continues to groan. What's with you? Asks Steve. You sound like those zombies that chased us down. Ed shoots Steve a dirty look to remind him that they all agreed to never publicly talk about the zombie incident. Mind your own business, Steve, he says gruffly, and then immediately resumes his moans and groans. That's it! I can't take it anymore! If you're going to whine and complain all day, then you're going to at least tell me the reason why I have to deal with it, objects Steve. Fine, says Ed. My wife found out about the raffle money, and now she's threatening to divorce me. Divorce you? Wait, you didn't tell her about the money? Steve inquires. Well, no, not exactly, says Ed. Steve shakes his head. That's a pretty huge breach of trust. I don't think divorce is right, but I understand why she's so upset. I was going to tell her, but I wanted it to be a surprise. I wanted to do something nice for her, I just got carried away buying stuff that I wanted. Maybe it's better that I don't have the money. Ed pouts. The worst part is she's really mad that I didn't evade the taxes. She says that if I had told her about the money, we could have hidden it and kept it all. Steve is shocked by what he hears. Sounds like you have some bigger problems than just money and taxes. Behind Steve, the other delivery drivers bicker.
Get out of my way, Dennis,
says an irritated Bill.
I'm standing here. Go around me,
replies Dennis. Jenny returns from a delivery and throws her bag on the driver's table angrily.
What's wrong with you?
Asks Bill.
I finally get a delivery, and of course they totally stiffed me. Some Friday night this turned out to be.
Replies Jenny with a huff. Stiffed? That stinks. Where'd you go? Asks Freddy.
It was that apartment complex at the very edge of our delivery radius. And if that wasn't bad enough, the lady was all the way up on the 3rd floor.
Jenny complains. That sucks, says Steve sympathetically.
I've delivered to her before, and I know she never tips. But with us being so dead lately, every delivery matters. And I was just praying she would tip me this time.
Jenny finishes. I think I know who you're talking about, says Freddy. Dark hair, glasses, apartment smells like cats.
Yeah, that's her,
agrees Jenny. Freddy thinks for a moment, and a gangstery look comes over his face. Jenny, I like you. You got moxie. I'm sure she'll tip you next time. Later that night, after Pizza Bros closes, Freddy pays a visit to the customer who stiffed Jenny. It's time for this lady to learn some respect, Freddy says as he pulls a yard sign out of his trunk. He sticks it in the grass in front of the stairs that ascend to the customer's apartment with a thunk. Freddy laughs as he looks at the custom sign his associate Joey made from that very night. The sign reads, "A dirty no-tippin' rat lives here. Apartment 3D." Pleased with how the sign looks, he decides to make it a permanent addition to the landscaping. Freddy digs around in his trunk, pulls out a shovel and a bag of concrete. He pulls the sign out of the ground, digs a hole, sticks the sign in, and fills it with concrete mix. There. Now that sucker's not going anywhere, he says aloud. Good luck moving that after the sprinklers turn on tonight. Freddy gets back in his car and heads home with a satisfied look on his face. The next night, Freddy hears Jenny complain about another customer.
Then these pigs said that I should be wearing a bikini because I'm a girl, and then they stiffed me. How disgusting, she complains.
Suddenly, Dennis bursts through the door and exclaims,
Those jerks stiffed me again!
That night, after Pizza Bros closes, Freddy puts 2 more signs embedded in concrete in those 2 particular customers' yards. Again, the following night, Freddy listens to more employees gripe.
Man, I'm not making any money. I got stiffed again,
says Bill. Ugh, another person didn't tip me, complains Travis. Stiffed again! What's going on here? Laments Steve. It's so weird that no one is tipping anymore, says Richard. Late that night, 4 more signs go into the yards of those particular customers. They all read, "A dirty, no-tippin' rat lives here." The next day, Freddy's yard signs are all over the Channel 7 news. Elliot Daly reports from the scene of one person's home.
"A rash of yard signs have been popping up across Chesterwood, accusing the residents of not tipping,"
he reports.
"Is this vandalism or vigilante justice?"
He asks with his most authoritative reporter voice. On the TV, the blurred face of a woman can be seen.
"Excuse me? I don't have to tip nobody. I'm not legally required to, so I don't. If they want to make money, they should get a real job,"
she states. Another blurred-faced woman comes on the screen.
"Oh my goodness, I'm so embarrassed. All my neighbors saw it and I was mortified. I can only imagine what they must think of me. I'll never not tip someone ever again,"
she testifies. The next evening, an excited Steve enters the store. "I'm making a ton of money today. What about you?"
Yeah, tips have been great today.
agrees Dennis. "I don't know who put those signs in front of people's houses, but they're a hero," says Steve. He then thinks for a moment about his choice of words. Maybe not a hero, he corrects himself. But whoever they are, they definitely stood up for the little guy in the best way that they knew how.
Who knew shame would be such an effective tool?
Asks Dennis aloud. At this, Freddy smiles to himself and leaves the room satisfied. He knows that his friends were taken care of and that his job as a vigilante is finished. For now. The end.
Thanks again, Freddy.
Me? What are you thanking me for?
Well, wasn't it you?
Look, I'm just saying, this is incriminating conversation. You could be wearing a wire. What I will say is, if I was the person who did such action, I would say thank you. But as you cannot prove in a court of law if I did it or did not, then I'm just going to say, okay.
On that note, please visit therealpizzabros.com to like, share, subscribe, and all the other stuff. I'm going to get out of here. See ya.
And if anybody needs some custom signs made, you could go see my boy Joey. He works down by the docks, and he can get you taken care of in a flash. Not saying I know anything about putting signs anywhere, but if you did, he could hook you up. Just tell him Freddy sent you.